President Trump added a fee on H-1B visas for international workers. See how this bill affects international Kent State students.
As Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu took the stage at the United Nations to give a speech today, scores of people got up and left the room. Find out why.
ICE protesters gathered at a holding facility in Illinois. We have the details coming up.
This is Kent Stater TV.
Good evening, Portage County. Welcome back to KSTV at 6 o'clock. I'm Emilio Hernandez.
And I'm Lexi Blatnick. Thank you for joining us this Friday evening.
The Fall Grad Fair will take place tomorrow, Saturday the 27th, at the University Bookstore in the Student Center from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. Attendees will be able to purchase their cap and gown and enjoy light refreshments.
Kent residents have an opportunity to go bananas this Saturday for the Banana Bar Crawl. Participants will jump from bar to bar in a banana costume. Bars in the crawl include Dominic's, The Loft, and Water Street Tavern. Bars will be holding drink specials throughout the night. Tickets are still available through the Banana Crawl website, and costumes can be picked up at The Loft tomorrow from 2 to 6 p.m.
The City of Kent is expanding the Dora District to include 3 more businesses. The designated outdoor refreshment area, or Dora District, is an area in downtown Kent where alcoholic beverages can be purchased from licensed liquor vendors. The updated district should now include the River Merchant of 101 Bottles and the Blind Squirrel Pub.
A pair of tickets for a ride on the Goodyear blimp were auctioned for $15,000 yesterday. The auction was organized by the nonprofit Bounce Innovation Hub. Proceeds from the event go to Bounce's philanthropic goals, providing resources to local entrepreneurs. Rides on the Goodyear blimp are not normally for sale. Instead, Goodyear Company encourages raising money for community nonprofits.
Your first forecast on Kent Stater TV.
Hello, Portage County. Welcome to your daily forecast. My name is Tyler Slosher, and I'll be taking you on a tour of today's skies. We start off over here in Toledo, looking at a nice, comfortable 79, and the theme is going to be similar, going down south to Cincinnati, cooling off a little bit in central Ohio and Columbus, and then gets just about the same around the Akron-Canton area. Going to Pittsburgh, it's going to cool down a little as well, but then we're going to zoom in to our northeast Ohio weather. We're going to take a look at the Kent weather here. You can see is sitting at a comfortable 73 degrees. The same up there in Cleveland and Ashtabula as we head westward over in Sandusky, my hometown, the rock and roller coast. It's going to get a little warmer at 77, and then about the same down in Mansfield. So we'll move on here from our large-scale forecast and head into our daily one. It's going to be a max of 80 degrees. It's already cooled off a little bit from that hot 3 p.m. time. We've had a nice partly cloudy sky today, nice breeze going through at 4 miles per hour, and a humidity of 44. Keeping things nice, easy. You don't have to worry too much about what you wear outside. Anything will do, from shorts to large jackets. As we look into our hourly forecast for tonight, at 8 p.m. it's going to sit about 66, and then it's going to go down and down and down to 58 till we hit our absolute bottom at around 55 towards 3 a.m. But as you wrap up your night, maybe head out to the bars, look forward to that bar crawl tomorrow. It's not going to be too bad. Now, that's all the time I have for right now, but have no fear. I'll be back soon to give you a look into the weather for next week. I'll see you then.
The Trump administration has announced serious changes to international work visas.
To explore these changes and their effects on Kent students, we turn to KSTV's Sophia Elena. Sophia?
That's right, guys. A new fee added to applicants for the H-1B visa is raising concerns among international students who hope to start a career after graduation here in the U.S. Many are even debating if it is worth it.
fee on HB1 visas, international students preparing to graduate from Kent State are left wondering, what now?
It's definitely sad that to achieve this American dream is even harder now.
The announcement came September 19th, when President Donald Trump said a fee would be added to any HB1 visa applications starting September 21st. The goal is to encourage companies to hire American workers.
Now, more than ever, it's something not sure, and for international students, the job market in the US is not something that is guaranteed, or it might not even be a viable opportunity.
This type of visa allows companies to hire specialized international workers for 3 years with the option of renewal. For many international students at Kent and across the country, it's the first step towards starting a career in the US.
It might be difficult to get hired, especially after graduation, because you still don't have a lot of expertise and might not be viable for a company to sponsor you with that high cost.
The added cost, however, raises concerns. By law, the companies are the ones who cover all visa fees, but some worry that the higher price tag could discourage companies from sponsoring international hires.
No, I don't regret at all. I learned a lot from my time here. I had great experiences. It's just that I'm not really sure now what I'll do.
This new policy is making students rethink their future plans and even make final decisions to leave the US after their studies are complete.
I'll try to open all the doors possible, try to see markets everywhere else, and try to see where I could go.
For students, the added cost makes the American job market less realistic, with many rethinking all their planned future steps. However, despite the challenges, many still hope to find their place here. For KSTV, I'm Sophia Lena.
Mass deportations and radical economic initiatives by the current administration have led to more and more civil unrest.
For a look into some administrative actions and public reactions, we turn to KSTV's Faith Nelson. Faith?
Thanks, Lexi and Emilio. Like they were saying, the changes the Trump administration have established are creating uncertainty across the country. We start with this morning, September 26th, at approximately 11 a.m., a video was taken of protesters standing outside the Broadview ICE facility in Illinois. Hundreds of people showed up to protest the immigration crackdown happening in and around Chicago. Some protesters attempted to prevent federal vehicles from entering and leaving the facility. Agents moved quickly, setting up tall gates to block protesters from getting to the entrance and confronted them with tear gas. One protester was detained. Also today, the Trump administration announced new restrictions on who can get non-domiciled commercial learning permits and driver's license. This comes as a result of a federal motor carrier safety audit and a series of crashes involving non-domiciled drivers. Non-citizens will have to meet much stricter requirements, including holding an employment-based visa and passing a federal immigration status check. A large number of delegates walked out of the UN General Assembly held today as Israel Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu presented his speech. Many people walked out during his speech due to the disapproval with Israel's actions in Gaza after the October 7th Hamas attacks. Ohio State Senator Al Kachrona earlier this week introduced Senate Bill 271, which would recognize Charlie Kirk's birthday of October 14th as Charlie Kirk Memorial Day within the state of Ohio. This comes after Kirk was assassinated at Utah Valley University on September 10th. That's all I have for you today. With KSTV, I'm Faith Nelson.
Starting Tuesday, a new age verification law will go into effect requiring pornography websites to verify that their visitors are adults. Ohio users will have to upload a copy of their ID or other personal identification to verify their age. The websites will be required to immediately delete the documents after verification is complete, unless the user maintains an account or subscription.
We have about 44% of consumers who are
New data from the Commerce Department shows that prices in the U.S. are rising, but people are still spending more. Find out why.
President Donald Trump announced a 150% tariff on imported drugs. We have why and how this affects consumers.
What's up, NFL fans? Quarterback Josh Dobbs here. You may know me as the Pastronaut.
This is my time. I'm on the rise. Can't hold me down, I'm too fly. This is my time.
I've always loved space and football. Growing up, some people told me I had to choose. But here's the deal. You can be great at more than one thing, and getting involved in STEM opens up your world to a universe of opportunities in life. Space isn't just for the astronauts.
It's for all of us. It's not just for engineers like myself.
It's for teachers,
students,
designers, mechanics,
scientists,
and millions of football fans across the world.
3, 2, 1, watch out, here I come. This is my time. I'm on the rise. Can't hold me down, I'm too fly. This is my time.
Get inspired and get involved today. There are STEM programs and science centers available in your community, so be sure to check out spaceforall.us to learn more and get started.
This is my time.
Hey there, welcome to Kent Core.
Kent Core.
Kent Core. To Kent Core.
First, they said cigarettes were safe. We know how that turned out. Now, they say they didn't market e-cigarettes to teens? Fact, more than 1 in 4 high school students are vaping, and 80% say their first e-cigarette was flavored. Vaping is harmful to developing brains. The reason we think vaping is safe? Marketing. Same lies, different day. Tell Big Vape to quit lying.
Tomorrow's news leaders.
Today's top stories.
From an award-winning student newsroom.
This is Kent Stater TV.
Your community.
Your stories.
Many American consumers have been struggling financially in the past years, and many are unsure if any relief is in sight.
For a look into some of the numbers behind it all, CNN's Ivan Rodriguez has more.
Many Americans are feeling down on the economy.
We have about 44% of consumers who are spontaneously telling us that high prices are weighing down their personal finances, and that's been something that has not really eased up.
Fears of higher inflation and risk of a weaker labor market are making many anxious, according to a new University of Michigan consumer sentiment survey. Despite the negative outlook, people are still spending. New data from the Commerce Department shows consumer spending rose 0.6% in August and 0.4% when adjusting for inflation.
The big reason for that is that the vast majority of aggregate consumer spending is being generated by high income and high wealth consumers.
But the survey's director, Joanne Shu, says lower income consumers are beginning to pull back, and the impact of President Trump's aggressive trade policies is a wide concern.
Tariffs are very, very high on people's minds, specifically because of the believed impact of those tariffs on the prices that consumers will eventually pay.
And it's likely prices could continue to climb. Trump announcing new tariffs Thursday on certain kinds of furniture, a 25% tariff on trucks, and a 100% tariff on some imported brand name or patented pharmaceutical drugs. American University's Kara Reynolds says these new tariffs could continue to drag consumer sentiment and impact the economy long term.
The inflation, fairly weak job numbers, and lower consumer sentiment, I think that has to hit consumer spending soon. If consumers are pulling back, you're going to see that in economic growth.
I'm Ivan Rodriguez reporting.
But there's more to the economy than just its symptoms.
For information about some of their potential causes, please turn to Stephen Strength for more.
Business affects everyone, from tariffs to wars. Let's talk about how it affects the world around us, from Israel to the United States. On Thursday, President Trump announced that he would be expanding tariffs to things in your bedroom, bathroom, and kitchen, including imported cabinets, bathroom vanities, and related products at a 50% tariff, with a 30% tariff on imported upholstered furniture. Trump imposed a 25% tariff on heavy industrial trucks, citing foreign competition. The tariffs are expected to go into effect October 1st. President Trump also announced that he would be imposing a 100% tariff on imported prescription brand name and patented drugs. President Trump also announced that companies are in the process of building manufacturing plants in the United States will not be subject to the tariffs. President Trump is trying to ramp up essential medicine production and to strengthen the supply chain. Israel's Ministry of Defense has had a set of services disabled by United States tech giant Microsoft. The tech giant says that the investigation by two news outlets that suggested Israel's military intelligence unit was spying on Palestinians using Microsoft Azure to store millions of phone calls made by Palestinians in the occupied West Bank and Gaza. Microsoft says that the investigation is still ongoing. And a Israeli security official said that there is no damage to their operational capabilities. For KSTV, I'm Stephen Strink.
Keeping you informed and ahead of the storm, this is your KSTV weather.
Well, hello there. I didn't see you come in, but I'm glad you came because it's time to give you the rundown on what may be the last blast of summer heat before we fully settle in to that fall weather. Let's take a look at what we've got going on tomorrow. It's going to be nice, partly cloudy, 78 degrees. Oh, it's just going to be wonderful. That calm, easy weather. Get some shorts off there. No need for a jacket, nice t-shirt, and you'll be just fine, I promise. Sunset's going to be at 7:13 p.m. That's going to keep going sooner and sooner, and we're going to look at a waxing crescent moon. If I got any astrology fans out there, you might be interested. But then let's take a look at what we've got going on for next week. Like I said, the next 3 days are going to be nice and warm, 84, 82, 80, and then we're going to drop back down to that 75 range where it's going to stay strong for the next month or so. You're not going to have to worry about much rain on Saturday. Believe it or not, that is not going to be quite 85%. It's going to be nice and partly cloudy, I assure you. And as we go through the rest of the week, it's going to stay dry. Similarly, you're going to see some clouds throughout most of the week. So like I said, no need for an umbrella, but you may not be able to squeeze in a tan much there. It's just that nice in-between that don't we all love. Sadly, that is just about all I have for today. Thank you so much for coming out to KSTV tonight to check in on your forecast. For KSTV, I'm Tyler Slosher, and I'll send it back to Lexi at the desk.
Thank you, Tyler. You've heard of firefighters rescuing cats out of trees, but have you heard them rescuing dogs off woofs? The Canton Fire Department received a phone call at about 11:45 a.m. with reports of a dog stuck on a roof. Firefighters managed to rescue Lucky the dog with a ladder truck and a little bit of kielbasa. They used a piece of sausage to coax Lucky into the ladder's bucket and lower him safely to ground level.
A Polish climber has recently achieved a new feat at Mount Everest. Hear more about it here on KSTV.
For a divisional title. Find out how the Tigers tied up the race in your KSTV Sports Report next.
Read to a child today and spark a lifetime of ambition.
Is it okay over there? Is that good?
Jackie boy, look, we have been through a lot together.
Hurry up before this rain, this rain goes away.
Well, it's just,
So, I just moved in with his family, and it's embarrassing. The little one, he likes to go outside and crawl around in the giant litter box. I don't know what he's doing. I mean, I was born and I knew how to use the litter box. Look at that! That's disgusting! Oh, poop already! You're making me nervous. Oh, okay, I can't look at this anymore. I really hope he grows out of this, for his sake.
This is your Kent Stater TV Sports Report.
Well, the Cleveland Guardians are pushing full steam ahead for a playoff push. And with that, playoff tickets. Tickets for the American League wildcard games went on sale today at 10 a.m. If Cleveland advances into the playoffs, the wildcard games will take place at home at the corner of Carnegie and Ontario. Wildcard game tickets and any other postseason games are only available online. And with that, we turn to our sports correspondent, Joe Malvin. Joe, how far do you think the Guards will go?
You know, Lexi, I'm an optimistic Cleveland fan, and I think they're going to the World Series. But they gave me a sports block today, so, you know, let's just start rolling with the sports headlines. I'm going to take you over to Cleveland as the Guardians hosted the Tigers at Progressive Field. Cleveland Guardians, Detroit Tigers. Here is Jahmai Jones, top of the first, going to smash this one over the left field wall. Jones gives the Tigers an early 1-0 lead. You know, my parents were at this game. Shout out Mom and Dad. Well, we are going to go later in the inning. 1 out. Wencel Perez is going to connect on the slider. That's a bomb and just clears the wall for another Tigers home run. My uncle was also at this game, and we go into the bottom of the second. Runner in scoring position. C.J. Kafis drives one into the right field and gets it down. Gabriel Arias scores from second. Kafis gets the double. Score: Tigers 3, Guardians 1. Soon after, leading off in the fourth, Riley Green absolutely kills this fastball and takes it over to the right field fence. Tigers go up 4-1. And now we go to the bottom of the eighth. Jose Ramirez gets a standing RBI double. Austin Hedges scores from second base. The Guardians, however, would not be able to get it done. I know our producer was disappointed. She was at the game last night, but final score, Guardians 2, Tigers 4. Well, week 4 of the NFL season began last night as the Seattle Seahawks traveled down to Glendale and took home the W against the Arizona Cardinals. The Seahawks entered the fourth quarter of this one sporting a 17-6 lead, and the Cardinals would battle back in front of their home crowd to tie the game at 20 in the final minutes. The Seahawks would get into the field goal range, and Jason Myers connected on the 55-yard try, to ice the game for the Seahawks. Now we take it over to the hardwood, Kent State, in fact, moving over. Kent State volleyball team travels out to Wood County to take on the Bowling Green Falcons. The Golden Flashes are coming off a loss to the Toledo Rockets, losing 3-0. This matchup against the Falcons will be their last match of the road trip as they begin to play at the Mack Center the following week. You can watch on ESPN+. And over in Murphy Mellis Field, right next to Dick Stadium, the Kent State field hockey took on Miami, Ohio for their second conference match of 2025. The Flashes were unable to score a single goal as the Redhawks dropped a whopping 7, count 'em, goals on the game and taking the win. Back to Oxford, Kent State is now 1-7 on the season, and they'll have to travel to Muncie, Indiana for a game against Ball State on Sunday. Chirp, chirp. Kent State's cross-country teams will be heading down I-76 tomorrow to take part in the YSU Invite at Youngstown State University. Both the men's teams will compete in an 8K that begins at 10:30 a.m., while the women's team will compete in a 5K race that starts at 10 a.m. Be sure to stay updated on the outcomes of the YSU Invite right here with us as we continue our coverage of the event at KentStater.com. For all major sports updates, be sure to stay tuned and catch Overtime, which airs tonight at 7. But if you missed that, we'll fill you in with Sports Corner Monday night at 8. From the Franklin Hall studio, I've been Joe Malvin. You've been you. I'll see you next time on KSTV.
Today is National Pancake Day. Find out the history of the breakfast food and how you can celebrate it at restaurants.
There's a lot of fear in coming back to school. I'm a 40-year-old man that walked in there to get his high school diploma. It was very hard for me, but one of the teachers was Miss Araceli. She gave me direction. Every single time I had a question, she'll put down whatever she's doing and she'll sit there with you until you get it. 50% of getting your high school diploma is walking through those doors. The other 50% is doing the work.
Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org.
Solo stage where the player spends most of it being hunted down by Infinite. The weapon that performed the best here was the Drill Wispen. Its ability to...
He finally is like, I get it now. I get it. I have worth because I'm me. And I really liked it a lot. Like, I'm not...
What are you staring at? How do you know it's me? No.
Is it pretty?
Daddy,
it's pretty.
Maybe I'll say that.
If you need to do something to feel okay to drive, you're not okay to drive. Don't drive buzzed.
A Polish climber became the first person to scale then ski down Mount Everest without supplemental oxygen. Andrzej Bargiel spent nearly 16 hours climbing within Everest's death zone, an area above 26,000 feet, where the air is extremely thin. Then he mustered enough stamina to ski down the mountain. To celebrate, the Polish Prime Minister took to social media to laud Bargiel's feat.
Whip out a spatula and heat a pan because today is National Pancake Day. The breakfast treat dates thousands of years ago and may be the oldest breakfast food in history. Flapjacks can be served with butter, syrup, fruit, and any other topping. Many restaurants are offering promotions to celebrate. For example, Cracker Barrel is offering $5 all-you-can-eat pancakes today at participating locations. Emilio, I have a lifelong debate with my family, and maybe you can help us out.
Sure.
Pancakes or waffles?
Pancakes.
Wrong. Waffles, I think, are so fantastic. They're versatile. You can make them into little Sammies, but that is all the time we have for you this evening. Thank you so much for tuning in to Kent Stater at 6 o'clock. For more stories and updates, visit us at kentstater.com. I'm Lexi Blatnick.
And I'm Miller Hernandez. Have a great night, Portage County.
She had so many children, she didn't know what to do. There was an old woman who lived in a shoe. She had so many children, she didn't know what to do. She gave them some broth without any bread, and kissed them all soundly, and put them to bed. Hunger is a story we can end. End it at feedingamerica.org.
You think you're just checking your messages, or telling a friend you're on your way. They could be the last words you ever type. Make sure you get where you're going.